The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined as always by head writer and podcast host Kevin Price. Kevin, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, Sean. Good to be back here talking 912 Sports on a Thursday night.
Yeah, man, it's a busy part of the year, Kevin. We've got basketball going all over. We've got baseball going all over. Soccer's getting rolling. So still kind of in that transition period, leaving winter sports going into spring. But basketball is a hot topic right now. Has got a lot of teams that are still playing, still making that run for that state title, Kevin. So let's just jump right into basketball and talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, well, of course, the basketball GHSA tournaments kicked off last week. I guess Tuesday and Wednesday were the opening games, and then they already had narrowed the field down to the Sweet 16 in all classifications by the end of the weekend, with teams either playing Friday or Saturday. So obviously we have not had a show since the teams from our area played in the Sweet 16. So we kind of want to give a shout out to those teams that made it that far and won at least one game. We do have a couple of teams moving on down the road that made it into the state quarterfinals, the Elite Eight is what they call it. But let's just run down the list. In Class 6A, I'll do girls first. Class 6A, Brunswick High School and Bradwell Institute both made the Sweet 16 and won in the Sweet 16 and are playing in the state quarterfinals on opposite sides of the bracket. Of course, Bradwell, the number 2 seed out of Region 2 6A. Brunswick High School, the number 1 seed out of Region 2 6A, swept both the regular season and region tournament titles, beating Bradwell in the tournament championship game. And Bradwell, the only team to have beaten BHS. BHS rolled over Buford, one of the perennial powers in the state, last Friday night to advance to the Elite Eight to make it that far. So then in 5A, Warner Robins is actually still alive, Sean. I know that's a team that's in the region with a lot of our schools. They are into the Elite Eight. Ware County made the Sweet 16 and lost their second round Sweet 16 matchup, but still a good season there by Ware. In Class 3A, the only team we still had alive after the Sweet 16 was Pierce County. They are, of course, playing in the Elite Eight as well, and we felt like they had a good chance to be at this point in the season when the basketball season tipped off. In 2A, Swainsboro, a ranked team, made the Sweet 16, but lost right there. And then in Single A, the two rivals in Southeast Georgia here, Clinch and Charlton, both lost their Sweet 16 matchups, but still a good season by both of those South Georgia teams. Also, I need to go back and mention that in 3A, Liberty County and Tatnall also made it to the Sweet 16, and then before their season ended. So congratulations to both of those teams as well. Now in the boys ranks, in 6A, Statesboro was the only team to make the Sweet 16. They lost their second round game, so they got knocked out. But still a great season by Statesboro and Coach Keith Legree. They won the regular season championship and the tournament championship in Region 2 6A, but unfortunately saw their season come to an end there last weekend. In 5A, just a note, Warner Robins out of the region that includes our teams did make it to the Sweet 16, so congratulations to them. In 2A, Vidalia boys still alive. They made it into the Sweet 16 and advanced to the Elite 8. They will play Northeast this week for a chance to get into the Final Four there. And then in Single A, unfortunately, both Charlton and Clinch lost in Single A after having really good seasons and playing for the region championship. Charlton, though, poised for or loaded for a bright future with some young talent, and it's going to be interesting to see those guys develop and continue to properly prosper under head coach David Bailey.
Yeah, they definitely do have some young talent there, Kevin. And, of course, so that leaves us with 4 teams still playing. We're going to have an update at the end of our segment here tonight and kind of bring everybody up to speed on who will actually be advancing or whose seasons are over that are playing. But you got 3 in girls with Pierce, Bradwell, and Brunswick High School, and then in boys, Vidalia is the only one left out of the 912. So we'll have an update on those, Kevin, after this segment, and let everybody know what's on going forward. So, but like we talked about, Kevin, we're already crossing over into baseball. You guys have got a lot going on there with Golden Isles baseball. So, kind of give us a report on what's going on with both your Glenn and Brunswick teams over there.
Yeah, well, I'll start with Glenn Academy. I mean, they're off to a great start. Couldn't be any better under head coach John Welborn. This is his first season as the head coach. He had been there as an assistant. They are now 6-0 after a couple of more wins this past week. 3, in fact. They beat Benedictine in an early week game, and that was a wild game, Sean. They were down something like 10-1 early and came back and scored all sorts of runs in the last few innings and won that game like 21-12 or 21-10. It was a wild finish to that game. And then they played a Thursday night game, I guess kind of got a jump start on the second game of baseball at the beach against Carrollton. Beat a good, solid Carrollton team, 3-1. That, of course, was at Adam Wainwright Field. And then last weekend, they did host the second weekend of the baseball at the beach tournament and ended up playing their only game on Saturday in terms of the weekend and came back and rallied for a 5-4 win over Johns Creek, which is coached by former Brunswick High School player Billy Nicholson. Glenn was down 3-0 in that game and came back and tied it up and eventually won it. John Wise Long, who's headed to North Carolina, had a game-winning hit for the Terrors in the bottom of the 6th. Aiden Beauty pitched another great game for Glenn Academy. So I feel like Glenn looks like they're swinging the bats well right now, Sean. If that continues, if they can continue to get good starting pitching, I think that's going to be the key for them, just lining up those arms and finding out, where those guys are being slotted for region play. I think that right now looks to me to be the key for Glenn Academy if they're going to have another strong season. Of course, they went to the Elite 8 last year. And then Brunswick's off to a winning start as well. They're 4-2 through the first 2 weeks of the season. Last week, I guess, beat Brantley County in an early week game and then came back and split their 2 games in the baseball at the beach tournament. They beat Johns Creek 7-1 on Friday night and then turned around and lost to a really good Bartram Trail team that can really hit the baseball 9-1 on Saturday night. Also, Bartram Trail's starting pitcher, just as a little side note, was Colt Myers. His father, Brett Myers, I believe it is, used to pitch in the major leagues for several teams, including the Philadelphia Phillies. And he's just a young sophomore. I think he was hitting anywhere from mid-80s to upper 80s at tops throughout that game. So he was their starting pitcher. But anyway, I think for Brunswick, it looks like they're pretty much getting good starting pitching. The key for them, I think, again, Sean, is going to be hitting. Last year, they kind of fell off in the bottom of the lineup, and this year, if they can hit more throughout the lineup and have some pop certainly in the top and the middle, they might have a chance to crack that top 4 in Region 2-6A and make the playoffs. So for them, I think hitting offensively through the lineup is going to be a big key.
Yeah, and Ware's off to a good start. They're 4-3. Kind of struggled here the last 3 games. Only winning one of those 3 games. But been playing some really tough competition. They lost to Appleton County. I believe that final was 4-3 in 10 innings on Friday night, Kevin, in a marathon of a game. But the Gators battled back right at the end, down 1 run in the bottom of the 7th. Was able to get a run across to tie it up at 3 apiece. Played all the way into the 10th, and then Appleton was able to scratch another run across. The Ware came back, had a runner on third base, but wasn't able to get him home and lost that game 4-3. And then on Saturday, traveled over to Thomasville to play Pike County. Pike County, a top 5 team in 3A, had a pitcher going for them that's already signed with Kennesaw State, and Seabolt threw really, really hard. Was a really, you could tell he was a polished pitcher. You could tell he was a college pitcher, but the Gators were able to scratch out 2 runs against him, and then Landon Dean on the mound, the young junior for the Gators, just was flawless. This is the 2nd week in a row, Kevin. He's pitched on Saturday. 2nd week in a row, he's went all 7. 2nd week in a row, he has not given up a run. So Ware was able to win that game against Pike 2-0 on the back of Landon Dean with that great pitching job. So he had a really good outing there. And then last night, kind of let one get away from the Gators were up big over. I'm sorry, this was Monday night, not last night, but Monday night. Played Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill, as we know, is in that region with Brunswick and Glenn. They're really, really talented. Got a big pitcher who actually, the Finley kid on Thursday, Kevin, threw a perfect game against Woodstock and won that game, went all 7, of course, threw the perfect game there. So they've got some talent, but they were able to battle back last night and put a 5 spot on the board in the top of the 7th to beat the Gators 11-9. Gators, played decent. Pitching was decent until the end, but giving up those 5 runs there in the 7th. And Coach Evans was kind of in a jam because basically he plays 5 games in 8 days, so he doesn't have a lot of arms to be able to, just run to the bullpen and change out pitchers. So he had to have some young guys take some lumps last night. But hey, tip your hat to Richmond Hill. Were able to battle back and like I said, and get that win against the Gators there. So we'll see how things keep going on. But the Gators look really strong. They're out of the gate good, a lot better than they were last year, and they made a deep run last year, going all the way to the Final Four. So we'll see how the season finishes off here. But you can check out both Kevin's games with Brunswick and Glenn and my games with Ware on 912sports.net. There's schedules posted on our broadcast tab there on the webpage, and you can see who's playing and what days and everything. So should be another good weekend of baseball. I think, Kevin, your team Brunswick is actually coming tomorrow night over here to Ware to play the Gators. So that'll be a game that people can check out and listen there on 912sports.net. So, and I apologize if everybody sees me moving around, but I've hurt my shoulder again, and it's kind of aggravated today. But so I'm trying to get comfortable with Kevin. One thing that did happen over the past since we did our last show is Coffee County went out and has found their new head coach. This new head coach is Mike Coe. He comes to Coffee County from Madison, Florida. Coach Coe is actually a 4-time state champion there at Madison. Madison is a single A school down there. I think Madison is at Tallahassee, or right outside of Tallahassee, Kevin.
It might be somewhere in that area.
I think it's right outside of Tallahassee because the information that I saw on Coach Coe come out of the Tallahassee newspaper. So anyway, but he's had a really good run down there. I think he's been there, Kevin, for 12 years. Coach Coe has a 135-26 record in 12 seasons with 4 state titles. And I don't care what division of football you're playing in. If you're winning state titles, you're a pretty good football coach. Yeah. So, this is what Coffee did 10 years ago. They went to Florida and found a coach in Robbie Pruitt. He came back. And, oh, by the way, he's only won 376 games in his career. So, they go to Florida, find good coaches, bring them back here. And if Coach Coe has any kind of run like Coach Pruitt did, then the Coffee County Trojan fans are going to be very, very happy.
Yeah, this is another one of those deals where a Florida coach comes to Georgia, and there's different reasons for that, I think. But I think really, even though Florida's a good state for high school football, it certainly turns out good individual talent. I really think that maybe through and through, from top to bottom, I'm talking 7A all the way down to single A, that Georgia high school football may just be a little bit stronger. It may be that certain communities, kind of like a Douglas, takes high school football very seriously. And so when you come to Georgia, you jump into the frying pan from that standpoint. But at the same time, you get paid pretty well between your teaching job, whatever that is, whether it's in the classroom or physical education, or, of course, your supplement. There's all different levels of how different school systems do it. Some people put you on 11-month contract, some 12, some just flat out give you a pretty nice supplement. Then you have some boosters kicking in sometimes with a nice truck to ride around with, or maybe you get some nice dinners at one of the restaurants, and all that's, fair and fun. Nothing's illegal really being done there. So a lot of good perks to coaching Georgia high school football, but the one perk is you got a good chance to win, but you also better win at a lot of these places. And I think Douglas is one of those places. Coach Pruitt certainly did a great job there. Of course, he came, like you said, from Florida to Georgia. Coached, obviously, did a great job at Fitzgerald for many years as well, and has certainly taken this coffee program and put it at the upper echelon of whatever classification they've been in. They competed, I guess, in, I think, 7, 6, and 5 when he was there in different levels, and they did really well in all the levels. Just a tough, hard-nosed football team over there. A lot of good athletes. We've seen them running around Douglas for the last several years, and this coach is going to come in and inherit a good program, and really, he's going to put his own stamp on it. We talk about that. Every coach has their way of doing things, but he's got a good program in place with a good foundation. He just needs to take it and run with it.
Exactly, and good support. That's key, Kevin. Any program that's successful in the state of Georgia, it starts with the administration down. If you don't have the support of those guys, you're basically, you're doomed from the start. But that's not the case at Coffee. Everybody over there loves athletics. They love their football. They're going to support this guy 110%. And so it'll be interesting to see what he does. We're going to effort here in the next, a little bit to get an interview with Coach and talk to him about what his plans are for for that Coffee County program. So catch up with us on air with 912 Sports to check that out over the next couple of weeks there. And then we're also still trying to get one set up for Coach Jay Beauchal out of Wayne County, the new coach over there. So I got a couple of new faces here in the 912 come football season. But that's going to wrap it up for us. But stick around for some more On Air with 912 Sports. Appreciate everybody watching.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for tuning in to On Air with 912 Sports. Joining us here tonight is the new head football coach for the Coffee County Trojans, Coach Mike Coe. Coach, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Man, I'm ready to get to Douglas, Georgia. I'm getting anxious, and it seems like the clock isn't ticking at all.
It ain't going fast enough for you. Well, Coach, congratulations on the new position there. You're coming out of Madison, Florida, program down there, but I think you've been there for the last 12 years. I think you won 4 state titles at that school. Correct me if any of my information is wrong, but talk a little bit about your time down there at Madison.
Well, I came in 2003 as an offensive line coach, and then from 04 to 09, I was offensive coordinator. We won a state championship in 2007 when I was offensive coordinator. And then I became the head coach in 2010. And, I think I was there 12 years as the head coach. And we made 6 state finals and won 4 of them, and went the semifinals 11 out of 12 years, and all kind of different classifications. But that's a direct reflection of how hard our kids work. And I was blessed to have a staff that, for the most part, didn't have a lot of turnover. Guys stayed with it. And, we had a few guys driving from Tallahassee. We had some guys driving some distances, but they knew they were making a difference in our kids' lives. And we enjoyed being around each other, thoroughly enjoyed it. And, we never looked at it like work. It was always, getting to go chase your childhood dream with a bunch of your brothers, like playing out in the front yard. And that's what, we'll try to establish there at Coffee. And there's some great coaches there already, and I'll bring some more in. But, end of the day, it's still a game. It's still a game, and you got to have some fun with it. But I was blessed in Madison. One of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine, Coach, after being there for 12 years, that is, kind of ingrained into that area for sure. But come away with 135 victories and 26 losses in 12 seasons there. That's an outstanding record, and I'm sure Coffee's going to want you to continue that, that record up there. Coach, you mentioned a little bit about outstanding coaches that are there, and you were going to be bringing some people in. And you mentioned that you were an offensive coordinator before. Is that something that you'll be bringing somebody in, or somebody will be staying on, or will you be the offensive coordinator? Well, as the head coach.
So I've called the offense there from 04 through 13, I believe, and then had a guy that actually joined me in 2010. Came down from Hart County, Georgia, and wound up. He's like a brother to me. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to go with us. Him and his wife are foster parents.
I got you.
And they have a little boy and a little girl that are brother and sister, and they're desperately trying to adopt them, and I can respect that.
Right.
They've had 2 other sets of foster kids that have went off with other family members and stuff, and so they can't take them out of state, and maybe down the road, Coach, his name's Coach Archberger. We just call him Burger. Maybe down the road, Burger can join me. But I actually turned the offense over to him in 2014, and he's called it since, and I went and called the defense. So, I have experience calling both. My plan is to have an offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. And the one guy I know for a fact that I can announce is Coach Vester, my special teams coordinator here. He will be coming. I'll be there March 14th, and he'll be there shortly after. He's with me at Madison now, but as soon as I get them other 2 guys signed, sealed, and delivered, I can share their names and all those good things. But I think it's 2 big-time hires. I think it's 2 guys, that have the same philosophy I do. But most importantly to me, I know for a fact that it's 2 men that love kids, and they're going to pour into those kids' lives, and it's all relative. It really is, and that's just the way we're going to do it. We're going to build relationships. And when I met the kids last Friday, I told them, listen, you can love it or hate it, but we're going to be involved in all facets of your life if you play here,
Right.
And I'm going to know who your mama is and your daddy is, and who you live with. And, I want to get to know our kids, because I believe kids will play harder if they know you care and they know you love them. And they'll play harder for each other. I told them, I said, you'll go hard for a teammate, but you're willing to die for a brother.
Exactly.
And so we're going to build our whole philosophy on that. But we'll be sound X's and O's too. But I'm excited about both those guys. I'm just not ready to release them just yet. As soon as they're hired on and we get them cleared, and they'll both be there with me Friday.
All right.
I'll give you that little nugget. How about that?
All right, there you go. That sounds good. Well, Coach, I mean, you had a program established. You won state championships. You were there for 12 years. what brought you to make the decision to come to Coffee? I mean, what was it that attracted you to come to be the coach there in Douglas at the Coffee County Trojan High School?
Well, so I've turned down a lot of jobs over the last 15 years really, since being at Madison, and I just feel like fit matters. And I feel like sometimes coaches just take jobs to take them, or to say, I'm the head coach here, and to me, fit matters. I grew up without a dad. My mom worked 2 jobs her whole life to support me and my brother and my sister, and the kids at Madison were very similar to that story. I was not actively looking for a job at the moment. I pulled in my driveway one Tuesday night, and a guy that used to be in Coffee County, who was a football coach still, gave me a call and said, listen, I know you're ingrained in Madison. I know how much you love the kids there, but I'm telling you, this place is a fit for you, and this is an opportunity for you to, jump in Georgia and all that. And we played Coffee back in 06 and 07. And I just remember in 2007, that's the biggest human beings I've ever seen in my life on that offensive line. And there was a war. I think they beat us 20-19 or 21-20. But no, we had a heck of a team. We had, 2 Power 5 football players on that team. One of them wound up going to the NFL. So, it was a war. And it's not as small as Madison, obviously, but it's very, very similar. The passion, the commitment from the town, from the school system. We're struggling in Florida bad, and then Madison's the poorest county in the state of Florida. We are now the lowest paying state or lowest paying county, and pay's never been, if pay was the deal, I'd have left a long time ago.
Right.
So I said, I'll come up and sit down with them, and I didn't hear anything for like a week, and I'm like, they got him a guy from Georgia, and no big deal,
Right.
And then one of my little girls was I had to stay home with her. She was sick, and I believe we were watching Paw Patrol, and got a call from Dr. Lee's, and he asked me to come up and interview last Tuesday, and Mr. Allen and Coach Garrett, and I could just feel it in talking with them. When I came to Madison, I didn't want to come to Madison. Matter of fact, when I got off the highway, I said, I'm not coming here. There's nothing here.
Right.
And when I said I wouldn't do something, the good Lord showed me just who was in charge,
Right.
And so I came over and interviewed, and you could just feel it, And every time in the last couple of days where I said there's a road bump or something, the good Lord has just moved it, slam out of the way. I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, I have a peace about it. I have a calmness. I have an excitement about it. Last Friday when I had to tell our kids at Madison, that was tough.
Tough.
It was because I love them like they're my own, but they understand, kids are resilient and they understand.
Right.
Every one of them were upset, but they said, Coach, I'm happy for you, And so just meeting with Dr. Lee's and Mr. Allen and just going around the town and it just, Coach Pruitt has done a heck of a job. There's good coaches there. There's good football players there. The facilities are top notch. I think it's a sleeping giant. I think it's a gold mine, when you're coming from where I'm coming from, as far as facilities and just the resources, and not just resources for football, the football program, but for everything. Like, they got every kid covered. There is no reason for a young person in Coffee County to not be successful. I mean, there are resources upon resources, and it's just time. It's time. I've always talked about making the jump, and there's a lot of Florida coaches jumping, and it's only, I'll probably be buried in Madison one day. Honestly, my church here is a huge reason I've never left before too, and it's only an hour and a half away from Madison, actually. I'll forever be thankful to Madison County and the people here and the community I feel zero pressure from the community in Madison County. I mean, we could not have done the things we accomplished without the resources that our community provided. There's not a lot of resources in the school system.
Right.
The community saw the need and they met the need 100% of the time, every time. And they believed in what we were doing, and so I'm just very thankful for the community of Madison and the young men that were. I'm a demanding guy. I build our program on toughness and conditioning and being physical, and it's not easy, and the young men here were willing to sacrifice their time, their bodies, maybe playing out of position, like all that. None of that mattered to them. They just want to play football on Boot Hill and be a Cowboy. And so, and it's very similar at Coffee, so I'm excited about that. I am so ready for March 14th to get here.
Yeah, and Coach, talk a little bit about your offensive philosophy. Will it be based on your preference, or will it be based on your talent? What will you do when you come to Coffee as far as the offensive and defensive schemes that you run?
Yeah, so if you had asked me that a couple of years ago, it would have been wing tee. That's what I grew up on, cut my teeth on. Everybody can calm down, though. I mean, we're not going to be under center running the wing tee every snap, even though it's a great offense.
Right.
If I had to call it something, it's a little bit of power base. It's a little bit of spread base. It's got some wing tee principles in it. We will have gap schemes and zone schemes. What I try to do is formations, motions, shifts, get the defense's eyes slowed down a little bit and just get them out of place just a little bit, we're to give our kids a crease, get guys the ball in space, and a lot of it depends on quarterback, what we have, what he's good at, what we can trust him with. Is he a runner? I prefer a runner just because I know how hard it is to defend on the other side of the ball, But we will adapt. 2019, a week before the season started, I took our halfback, our fullback halfback. We were in one back then, and he was our backup quarterback. Well, he just made us go. Our kids believed in him. And he just made us go. And we scrimmaged right there. We had a little thing called Cowboy Mom Night. And we bring the moms out on the field and all that, and we scrimmage. And I told our coaches after the scrimmage, I said, he's got to go. He's got to be our quarterback. Like he's just got it, Like, Coach, we play the kickoff classic next week. I said, I don't care what we're playing. I'm telling you, we'll take some bumps early, but he's the guy. Like, they believe in him. He's got it. And so, there's a few in our town, man, what are they doing? Now, keep in mind, we're coming off 2 straight state titles. Why are they moving him to quarterback? He's not a quarterback. He's never played quarterback. Well, sucker threw for 2,400 yards and 25 touchdowns and rushed for another 1,500, because they believed in him. And we had another back that could tote the load back there. And I said, listen, it's going to be hard to defend with both of them suckers back there. It's the best of both worlds, And so it would depend on who we have, as to what we do. We'll try to adapt to our players' strengths. But we always are going to be physical, and we're always going to try to punch you in the mouth in some form or fashion, offensively. And then defensively, we've won in the stack, but, probably most comfortable in 4-2-5, which is what the kids are used to at Coffee, where they've been running. So we'll probably start off there. Got a lot of starters we got to replace there. But, my thought defensively is if you'll play with great effort and you'll play with great leverage and you'll leverage the ball and not get out leveraged by alignment, and play with great eye discipline and get off blocks and run like a madman to the football and be in a bad mood when you get there, anybody can do that because that's an attitude thing, And if you'll really study film and know what's coming at you, you might be a 4.8 guy, but you play like a 4.6 because you've been prepared, And so leverage the ball, disrupt receivers, take away easy stuff, try to take away their best player on offense or two, find where we can get some mismatches and and use it against them, but probably a 4-2-5 to start off with, just to see, and then last year we morphed into, in the playoffs, we played a tight front, we played a 4-2-5, we played an Okie front, and we played a 6-man front, just depending on who we were playing and what we were getting,
Right.
So, and then special teams, our best players are going to play special teams. I'm going to be heavily involved in special teams. We won the state championship this year. We blocked a punt in the fourth quarter, and we played on a Saturday night. And so that Monday was kind of our extra day to practice. All we worked on was special teams. And me and Coach Vester, we worked on punt block the first 20 minutes of special teams Indy, and that won us the game. But the kids knew it was important because the head coach, took the time. Coach must be serious about this thing if he's down here with us.
Right.
And we blocked the punt and scoot and score. Well, we scoot and got to the 1-yard line and punched it in the next play. So all three phases complement each other, but our best players, special teams is not an area where we're going to take plays off.
Right. Well, Coach, good information there. Appreciate you sharing all that with us. Appreciate you joining us here on Air with 912 Sports. Congratulations again on the new job. We'll definitely be talking to you in the off season. We'll try to catch up with you at some of the OTAs and the 7-on-7s and those sort of things. But we appreciate you becoming part of the 912 Sports family, and look forward to talking to you real soon.
Hey, I want to talk to you about Coffee High football as much as possible.
All right, buddy. That sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you on the 14th.
Okay. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's Coach Mike Coe, head coach of the Coffee County Trojans, as he's taking over the program over there in Douglas. We'll be right back here after these messages.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal!
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. As we noted in our earlier segment, we did have 4 teams from the 912 area code that are in our coverage area make it into the quarterfinals of their respective state basketball tournaments. Here's the update on how those games went. Unfortunately, in girls Class 6A, both the Brunswick High School Lady Pirates and the Bradwell Institute Lady Tigers both saw their seasons come to an end this week in the Elite Eight of the girls 6A tournament. The Lady Pirates lost at home 64-56 to Rockdale County to end their season with a sparkling 27-2 record. The only other team to beat the Lady Pirates this year was Bradwell Institute at home in Hinesville during region play. But the Lady Pirates led that game 37-27 at halftime, but Rockdale County came out of the locker room after intermission and had a huge third quarter where they outscored the Lady Pirates 27-6 to turn a 37-27 halftime deficit into an 11-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Brunswick did get that game back within 4 points going down the stretch, but could not get any closer and saw their season come to an end. Shemaya Flanders, the Region 2 6A Player of the Year for the Lady Pirates, scored 18 points to lead BHS. Danielle Carnegie, a really talented sophomore, a really good shooter particularly from three-point range, led that comeback for the Lady Bulldogs with 35 points. So she's going to be one to watch here in the state of Georgia, not only the rest of this season in the Final Four moving on, but certainly over the next 2 years as well. Now, the Lady Tigers lost their game on the road 53-44 to Sequoia, and Sequoia advances. They led that game 30-17 at halftime, Sequoia did. Bradwell Institute did get back within 41-37, but could not get any closer in the fourth quarter. So the Lady Tigers also see their season come to an end. Paris Parham led Bradwell with 21 points in that ball game. Now, in girls class AAA, it was a better story for the Pierce County Lady Bears. They march on into the AAA Final Four with a 56-34 win at home in Bearville over Central Macon. Natalie Herron, a footnote in that game, topped the 2,000 point mark in her career. So that is an impressive feat for sure. So congratulations to Natalie Herron on that. Pierce County will now play in the Class AAA Final Four Saturday night at 6 p.m. at Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville. They will take on Greater Atlanta Christian for a chance to move on to the state championship game. And then the only boys team to make it out to the quarterfinals was Vidalia. Unfortunately, they saw their season come to an end as well in the Elite Eight of the Class AA boys tournament with a 67-53 loss to Northeast Macon. Vidalia had a terrible first half, got down 40-17 at halftime, did make a great comeback or a comeback bid in the second half. They outscored Northeast, but still lost by 14, 67-53, as they could not overcome that bad first two quarters. So Pierce County, the girls, the Lady Bears, will now carry the banner for the 912 area code and our coverage area here in Southeast Georgia for the remainder of the basketball season. Good luck to the Lady Bears as they look to make their way into the Class AAA state championship game next week.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.